What's going on, everyone? Welcome. This is the Warehouse Series. So before we get to today's video, if you guys could do all of this, if you want to join Discord, that link is in the description below. For whatever reason, if that link is expired, just leave me a message and I will send you a new link so you could join Discord. I thought I swapped them all out, but apparently I didn't. If you want to subscribe, give me a thumbs up. And if you guys want to help by donating to the channel, it is much appreciated. So today we're going to be looking at a couple of my laundry detergent orders I did, just a couple. I want to show you guys because I haven't done these in a little while. I have done them in the past, but I want to go over a couple things here. One, you can see I kept my skinny case in the corner or in the middle, which came up later in that aisle. I did not force a case in there. I kept my cases pointing inwards when I can. Two similar cases, I face them back. Everything else is facing in. One of the same facing in. Nice big cases like this, I want them coming inwards, strongest point of the pallet. Now, why did I put the smaller Dawn dish soap there and leave the bigger one in the middle? Because this one was a little bit higher. And I tell you all the time, especially the first layer of your base, I think it is so crucial to have your higher cases on the outside as long as they are big enough. They have a big enough surface to build on. You don't want a real skinny case on the corner just because it's higher than the inside. So there's that. So let's look at the next picture here. And you can see I am building up here. Guys, look, tie in right here with the Drano, and then we got our middle, and then we brought a bigger case in with the middle. Keep cases facing towards the middle of the pallet. This and this is tying in. Obviously, I'm Drano's tying into two Dawns, but just this bigger case is bringing weight into the middle of the pallet more, so it's taking pressure off the corner of the pallet. You can see up front, guys, I'm doing the same thing. Case is facing in with my middle column, cross and T. I preach it every single time. Let's go on to the next one. This is just a side view to show you that. And right here, guys, that little bit is all it takes. Case is facing the same direction. This is tying in. I got my bigger, stronger case. We got a little bit higher case on the corner. Now, this is a rarity for me because I had an awkward corner here. I had two cases, and I told you I don't like doing it in that part of the pallet, but sometimes I just get forced to do things I don't like. They're not humongous cases, but they still are bigger, but I was able to keep the inside level, so it worked out. And let's move on to the next picture, and you guys can see the process of this pallet here. Now I am higher up the pallet. Two Ziplocs the same, facing back. Two of these cases the same, facing back. I took a Swiffer. Now I have a case on its side here. Very rare do I turn cases on its side, but when I do turn cases on their sides, it's always in this part of the warehouse because I'm getting like trash bags, like, you know, on that build off, we get trash bags, and we're going to get stuff that is not going to compromise the cases by being on their sides. Plus, the rest of everything on top of this is going to be light. It's going to be paper towels and stuff. So I know I'm not going to damage, but guys, you can see, look at that line, perfect center cross right there. That's what I talk about. Let's go on to the next one. And oops, there we go. This is the back of it, a little bit higher. See, we got our, you know, Kleenex and stuff like that. We're starting to get in the lighter stuff. So I am not worried about, you know, any way possible, you know, compromising this case on its side. It's going to be totally fine. And why did I shove this case all the way over? Why not keep it closer to here? I'm trying to take pressure off of the corner because of that case being on its side. Guys, it's all about weight distribution. You could take pressure off this corner just by walking the line this way. You know, so that's exactly what I'm doing here. Let's look at my next picture. Now, this is done. We got Palmolive, a little lean right here, Palmolive, but it's not going to be a big deal. We tied in this case right here. There's no pressure on this corner. It's not going to be anything that's going to push it over. Similar cases, we're up higher. I keep those smaller cases towards the front. If I have no holes to fill and they are not fitting in the middle of my pallet perfectly, I will do that with them. But other than that, this is the front of that. I believe this is the last picture of that. And nope, here's the side of that view. As you can see right there, I ended up correcting myself and got another case on its side. Just the way things work out with these orders sometimes. But keeping cases going that way as much as possible. Even here, right here, nice tie-in with the Ziplocs. Even though this column is stacked, you got Ziplocs coming onto this case right here. So we brought the weight back slightly off the corner. And that is what I'm talking about. This is not your only form of tying in. this is also tying in. So let's take a look at my next order. Now my next order, I started off and I knew I wasn't going to finish it. I knew I had to leave it for a pickup, which is basically at the end of the overtime, and I'm leaving it for somebody else to finish. So I still want to leave a pallet that's presentable for somebody else to just pick up and not have to mess with. And that's the problem with pickup orders, is that, you know, people just start throwing the stuff because they know they're leaving and they have no care in the world for the next person picking it up. Me personally, I stacked that pallet the same as if I was going to throw the whole thing. So let's take a look here. Now, I'm pretty sure this Mr. Clean was just a little bit higher than this case here. But what that's saying, you want your higher corner, but you don't want a skinny corner. I'd rather have a nice, big, sturdy case. I got plenty of room to work with here. We got an open box, so my next case, I want to be over top of the open. I want a longer case that's going to come over and hopefully fill out a little bit of that gap right there. This case here is not normal for me, but it's just the way things worked out because I had to put this big case right here. But two similar cases back here facing in, lower case in the middle. Yeah, I'm not a fan of putting cases like this. I always like to try to follow my cross, and I got a hole right there, which if I fill, I fill. If I don't, I don't. You know, I don't force stuff in there. So here's the front of that. Guys, case is pointing in, center column. You know, that's going right back to what I know. So that's that. And here is, now this is when I was actually leaving it for a pickup order. So I got two buckets, kept them on the corners. One's actually, looks like one's higher than the other, but leveled out. You know, big bag. I told you I don't like these big bags running the width, always the length of the pallet, because when you run them the width, you give yourself such a small corner to build on. So when you get the big dog food bags, the length. Two similar cases, that way. Guys, same stuff all the time. You know, I just threw a couple light cases up there. But the last picture, I just want to show you guys the side view. And all what I wanted to show was on this is this gap right here. And as you can see, I'm keeping my flours and sugars together again. I showed you that on the last video that I put out, that I keep all these together when I don't have a lot. This gap right here, anytime I have a gap, I take a mental note. And I know a Fancy Feast, a case of Fancy Feast is going to fit perfect in there. Unfortunately, like I said, I did not finish this order. You know, the next person probably didn't fill in the hole, but because his bag's dipping. But I know Fancy Feast, all what I'm going to do is just lift up that bag, slide the Fancy Feast in there, and I'll be perfect to go. So I just want to show a couple of my orders. Like I said, a quick video, you know, just want to show you the way I build and just to show you similarities and give you guys some different product to look at than just canned goods all the time. So that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.